Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm excited to introduce to you Mr. Nhema, the brilliant mind behind Nma Chickens. His commitment to sustainable poultry farming and uplifting local farmers is truly inspiring. Stay tuned to hear more about his journey and don't forget to subscribe for more insightful content.
Thank you, Tinashe. My name is Nhema. Actually, I'm from Masvingo, the last born in a family of 7. I would just give you a summary, a big background of Nma Chickens. I started Nma Chickens in February 2017. And ideally, how I started is funny. I'm sure those who have read the birth of Nma Chickens can testify here. At work, there was a work colleague we used to just do bushfield. So I would buy cocks, especially on month end for our traditional road runner. Over weekends, you would need to Kumbojikaoma road runner, etc. So I then asked and inquired to say, no, how are you doing these chickens? And he just give me some insight into that. I said, no, I need to start with at least 100 chicks. Unfortunately, he had he had 73 chicks, and I said, no, I need to buy them whilst they are 3 weeks old. And he kept them for me, and I bought them and sent them to the rural areas where I wanted my mom to pick eggs just for their own consumption. So actually, here's the story. I put the chickens at home in the rural areas in Masvingo, and after 5 months, they started laying eggs. And these chickens actually they were Hawanda. Actually, they started selling eggs actually to the community. And after 2 months, they said no. Actually, the eggs are becoming many. Don't even send money for Nkomana Kumusha etc. for the salary. They could now raise salary through selling table eggs. Then I then inquired actually from other producers to say I needed to hatch the eggs, and I bought an incubator which is 1,200 capacity, and started incubating these eggs. So the first batch, I got a poor hatch rate of 35%. And I did not despair. The second batch was good. I got 65%. I started actually advertising. I opened the Facebook page and started advertising, and I got actually sales. There were some inquiries, and most of my market was in Harare. So whilst I was staying in Harare, the HR was in Masvingo and actually supplying Harare. So within 2 months, the capacity started growing, and I was also growing the chicks to get to point of lay, and I increased my capacity to 2,000 capacity, and the market started growing bigger and bigger. And I then moved the business gradually to Waterfalls, from Masvingo to Waterfalls, and I bought another 5,200 capacity from China. So I was operating from a garage. During the day, I was going to work from NEC Tourism. Then my wife would then run the business in the garage. We had to remove our car. We had a single car, a Toyota Mark II. My wife would do it during the day. Then at night, I would just help her. So actually, fast forward, the Nma Chickens brand started to grow because, how I developed the Nma Chickens is because of trust. If customers would actually inquire, I would rather under promise than over promise, then over deliver, right? So whenever they will ask for chicks like Bushveld, I would ensure that I deliver. Even when they make a prepayment, I would deliver in time. So with time, around 2019, the business started growing, and I bought another 10,000 capacity. Now I had 20,000. And because of demand of the business, I felt it was important also that I professionalize the business, because now I could employ one employee. And I moved my business to actually Southerton. Just before I moved the business to Southerton, I will tell you the challenge which I encountered. In that, there was a challenge with electricity, because that is the time when we had load shedding. So a friend of mine who was also a customer, who was doing a business in Mausekwa, offered me a place in town just by the avenues, because at that particular time they'd not load shedding. So I went and put my incubators in his garage. But with the time, the guy also maybe got jealous, and he started also making his own incubator. So whenever I would receive eggs from customers and also hatching, he was then taking my customers during the day. So this is one of the challenges, to the extent that he had to ask me to move out without notice, because he had now also gotten into this business. So I had to then look for space in Southampton, where I then settled at number 4 Plymouth Road, which is now the famous address for Nma Chickens, though we have moved. So in this, I didn't look in terms of preference, but I was looking at a place where there's a constant electricity. So I then moved to Southampton. Before moving to Southampton, I got a space at National Railways by Second Road. So neither did I know that the guy who had given me the place, he was also subletting for me. So when I built a temporary structure there, by the way, I was NRZ came and destroyed my temporary structure before I even moved the incubators. These are the challenges, these are the pains which people might not know about how Nma Chickens evolved to where it is now. Fast forward, I then moved to Southampton, where we started with a 20,000 capacity hatchery. And actually, our business as Nma Chickens and hatchery is we are in the business of breeding. I'm a breeder. I can tell you that I'm a certified breeder. I've got 23 breeds in line, namely Black Astrolabe, Bushveld, Cuckoo, Plymouth Rock. I've got Light Brahma. I've got all Opintons, the Buff Opinton, the Cuckoo Opinton, Mottled Opinton, Godless Opinton. I've got Black Opinton. I've got also the windows, the silver-laced windowed, gold windowed. I have got Motveld. So, namely, I've got 23 breeds in line. So these I've developed these breeds over time. It's not an easy journey to be an entrepreneur. Like I've indicated, since 2017 when I started, I'd not realize profits, because what I was doing is I was multiplying. Uh, Whenever I could get money, I was reinvesting that money because I wanted the business to grow. I started actually enjoying actually the profits around 2020 from 2017. So it took me 3 years for me to realize profits, to know that now the business is now stable. Because when you are starting the business, never eat the business money. You have to reinvest the profits which you have and expand the business. So to date, right now, I can tell you, Nma Chickens has got 100,000 capacity hatchery, which means we have got capacity to hatch 100,000 eggs in 3 weeks. So, however, what we do is we load in batches, like that every week we have got chicks coming out, or almost every 3 days we have got chicks coming out. Nma Chickens now employs 17 employees, both at the farms and at the hatchery. We have got 3 sites where we are running our business, one in Norton, one in Sunside, then one in Croydon. And we've got over 23 contract farmers who then produces eggs for us for sale. So in terms of our operations, like I've indicated, we've got 17 employees, and we've got contract farmers where we supply farmers with day-old chicks at a cost. We then provide a market for those farmers. A farmer has got an option whether to buy chicks and keep them and sell to us, back to us as a point of lay at $10 per bed, or they can sell fertile eggs at $6 per crate back to us. So it's quite a lucrative business, because if you compare roadrunner eggs and layer eggs, which does table eggs, roadrunners are much more lucrative. And mind you, we are specializing in roadrunner chickens. And the good thing about roadrunner compared to layers and broilers is that roadrunners has got 5 business models. I'll mention to say you can breed the bird to produce fertile eggs. Fertile eggs means fertilized eggs, which you have used a cock and a hen to produce actually fertile eggs. Or you can remove the cocks and come up with only hens and produce table eggs for the market. You have got also an option of producing day-old chicks. You hatch your own eggs and sell day-old chicks. And you can also produce point of lays. You can keep them up to 5 months. When they are laying, you can sell them as point of lay. Then the last one, you can also produce roadrunner for meat. So imagine on all these 5 business models, as a farmer, you can then identify where your strength is, whether you are going to breed them for fertile eggs, table eggs, you are going to produce for chicks, and also as point of lays. The good thing about roadrunner compared to broilers is such that you can never say there is a time when you say, I've reached a point of maturity. With the broilers, once they reach 6 weeks, they start, and you don't have a market, they start eating from your pocket. But with road runners, if I produce day-old chicks and they are not sold as day-old, I can sell them at 1 week old. All I need is to put my profit. You can sell them at 2 weeks, even up to point of lay. So at every given stage, you are selling your chicks. So it's money every day. So, and also the good thing about Roadrunner, they are profitable in such a sense that when you buy your day-old chicks and you produce them and they start laying eggs, you have bought seed. You no longer need to go back to the shop to buy seed like what you're doing with the broilers. At 6 weeks, once they are sold, you need to go again to buy chicks. But with the Roadrunners, you've got a multiplier factor. Such that the chicks which you hatch, you can sell part 50% to the market and you keep 50%, you multiply. So how I did with, I started with the Bushveld. Then from Bushveld, I then bought Black Astrolop from other producers. Then with the time, I imported this Black Astrolop from South Africa. So the Bushveld helped me to buy Black Astrolop. From Black Astrolop, they helped me to buy another breed, which I was importing. So that's why I was growing my business from 1 breed to 23 breeds to date. And I'm increasing my breeds because we've got over 150 breeds of indigenous chickens or roadrunner chickens in the world. So with this type of business, I tell you, is one good business. And in terms of market, roadrunners have got market. Like with chicken, I tell you, chicken is a meal in every home. At any given time, in a week's time, I tell you, in over 7 days, you would see chicken is eaten almost five times a week compared to beef, because chicken is lean, is healthy, and actually it's a very good diet. And I tell you, if you look even on the fast foods, it's all about chicken and chips. You've never heard about beef and beef and chips. Roadrunner is the way to go. And I tell you, in terms of the market is infinity. You cannot fulfill the market. It might have seasons, etc., when farmers are actually like planting this period. But actually, unfortunately or fortunately, this time of the year when it's supposed to be the low season, this January we are busy. There are a lot of demand for road runners. I don't know why. But all I can tell you is there's a lucrative market, especially on NGOs. We supply almost all the NGOs in Zimbabwe here. I will not mention names, but I can tell you Nma Chickens is the biggest supplier of all the NGOs. And when NGOs take chicks, they take in thousands. I tell you they take a minimum of 15,000. Right now, there's a tender, the K tender, which you have seen all over the internet, where they want 25,000 point of lays. And Nma Chickens has bid it. We've been invited for a pre-briefing meeting on the 29th of January. And we are quite positive that we are getting this because we have the capacity. We are the biggest producer of indigenous chickens in Zimbabwe. And I want to tell you that we have also expanded. Now we are supplying Botswana, we are supplying Namibia, we are supplying Malawi, we are supplying Tanzania. We have not gone to Ghana and Nigeria because there's no access in terms of the road and transportation network, especially when it comes to actually logistics. But I tell you, there is a lot of market, and we have also put our foothold in these countries. And why Nma Chickens has managed to put a foothold in that is because of honesty. I tell you, in business, you have to be honest. You have to be a man of integrity. That's the kind of person I am. And also, in terms of service for the diaspora market, I would say out of the 100%, our diaspora market consists of 30%. I have got the biggest number of diasporas coming from the UK, Australia, who are buying, and USA, buying our chickens through World Remit. The good thing about Nma Chickens is, they always pay us before we deliver. And we have never had a challenge where we have failed to deliver. We have delivered, and this has assisted us because we have got too many referrals from the diaspora. We happy clients, they always refer us. And that's what we have solidifies our position as Nma Chickens and the HRs. So this is the service which you offer in terms of contract farming. So as a farmer, you want to start indigenous chickens, you can come to us. We give you a contract. You go through the contract. If you are happy with the contract, you buy your chicks, you buy your feed from us, you produce your chicks. Then once they mature, you can either sell fertile eggs to us or a point of lace. So we have got a lot of farmers who are even coming up with about 100 crates every week. Some of them, the biggest ones, are from Australia. We have got Mr. Mbedzi, of course, he's the biggest from Australia. I'm happy to announce that I have supplied the Sophia. If you are online, you can even confirm. I've got supplied a lot of clients who are from the diaspora. So I would mention that Nma Chickens is a breeder. We breed pure bloodline chickens, actually for the market. And most of our chickens, I tell you, they are ranging between 3.5 kgs and above, because these are high quality chickens. And to date, Nma Chickens is supplied each and every corner of the country. And I'm happy to announce that each and every time we receive calls, they always say, I saw these chickens in Bedbridge and I like them. So someone referred me to you, saying you are the one who supplied them. And it gives us pride as an entrepreneur. I can tell you there's serious money in this business. I've tried the broiler market, but I tell you, Roadrunner seems to give me more income than broilers. Because why? Each and every day they lay eggs. And when they lay eggs, it's God. Whenever I see an egg, it's money. So every day you pick eggs. It's either you sell them as fertile eggs or you sell them as table eggs. Unlike waiting for 6 weeks to get money, I'm getting money every day. So the best business or the best model which gives you the highest return is selling chicks, right? And selling fertile eggs. Because if you compare the hairline eggs compared to roadrunner eggs, is that hairline and roadrunners, they mature the same period, like 20 weeks. They eat the same amount of feed. But when it comes to the market, roadrunner fetches $6 a crate minimum. But the hairline is $3 to $4 a crate because of the relative value or worthiness of the breed. So Roadrunner is the biggest market and is the biggest business, so to say. Besides also producing eggs, we also hatch eggs for customers, walk-in customers. We've got the HRI in town at Kona, Kenneth Kaunda and Angwa in Harare, where customers can bring in their fertile eggs and we hatch for them at $6 a crate. And we also actually do export market for other customers, like I've mentioned, in Namibia, South Africa, Zambia, Malawi, etc. And I tell you, every day we send chicks out of the country. Every day we send fertile eggs out of the country. Every day we have got a market. And I think what is important as a business or as an entrepreneur is to be a person of integrity. Don't dupe people. All you need is to supply the best. If a client books black castle, make sure that you supply black castle. If a client inquires of light Sussex, make sure you supply light Sussex. I've seen a lot crying, maybe don't go for cheap things. Cheap is expensive. You need to, when you are starting this business, you need to start with the right breed. When you are starting this business, you need to research, you need to know. I've a roadrunner manual which I have written myself, not internet stuff. I've written in myself based on the experience I have gone, based on the journey I have gone. It's titled Chick to Chicken. So it takes you through the process of building your fowl run, brooding, feeding program, vaccination program, how to start your own business, record management, how to start your own HRE, disease management, biosecurity, etc. So what is important is farmers, you must invest in knowledge. And that's why I've seen it fit to write that book, that manual. It's a PDF with 216 slides. So it's an easy to read. Even your employees at the farm, they can do that. Because back then we used to do trainings, but with time we realized that instead there are other clients who are not able to attend our physical trainings. We've done online trainings, but I then thought it's best to put in a book. I tell you, whenever you need the feeding program, it's in the manual. Whenever you need the vaccination program, it's in the manual. When you want to start how to build your fowl run, it's in the manual. So that's how we do. In terms of supporting farmers, we have got our WhatsApp platform. Currently, we have got 5 groups in which all those who are interested, we can add them. And the good thing is now we are now a family. All your problems, all your questions, they are answered within minutes. Because besides Nma Chickens staff and myself answering to you, now we have got farmers around us who have also walked the path through us, who now know what we have also answered them. They can assist you. So this is a platform which is very free. And actually, it has got over, these groups have got over 5,000. And also, you can follow our Facebook page, Nhema Chickens, and the HRS have got 62,000 followers. So the number of followers can even certify to see the kind of company we have become. And I tell you, with the best breeds, you can make the money. And I want to encourage you right now that with chickens, you will never go wrong. If I tell you that there is a market, there was a tender which was flooded by government some 2 years ago where they wanted 5 million chickens. Nma Chickens is the biggest supplier of that tender. We have failed to supply the 5 millions, but I tell you, with the millions which we have supplied, over 3 million etc., there's still demand for chickens because chickens, they are being eaten every day. So the rate of consumption is more than the rate of production. So there's never been a time when you say there's no market of roadrunners. Honestly speaking, the people who complain that there's no market are those people who produce 100 chickens. Honestly speaking, we have got supermarkets looking for tons of chickens right now. And you can't go to a supermarket and say, I'm looking for a market. They ask you, what capacity can you produce? Then they said, I can produce 100 chickens. And they said, after 100 chickens, how much can you supply next week? I don't have. So if you want the market, go big, just like Nma Chickens. If you go big, you attract the right market. So there is nothing called there's no market. Go big and you see the market is there, especially chicken. There's serious market, and people are now health conscious. They are going organic. So I think with the few remarks which I have said, I will take questions as we go. So feel free to ask me questions, then I will answer as we go.
Mr. Nma, thank you so
Yes.
much for the wonderful remarks. And I'm sure you've triggered a lot of people. And I am seeing myself, I'm not going to be coming with questions first, but I'll just go straight to the chat box. George is asking about the manual. How best can we get the manual? And then, guys, if you want to ask questions to Mr. Nma, you are free to ask him questions now on what he has presented to us. There's a lot that he has presented to us. I have got a lot that I could ask from him, but I wouldn't want this to be a monologue. Let's have a conversation. Mr. Nema is saying it's available online. Once you make payment, I send you online. So you can send the link as well, Mr. Nema, on how how we can access that manual.
Okay, thank you so much. Just to answer to that, actually, there's no link specific. What we do is you just make an inquiry. I will give you the payment platform. Once you make payment, I will send you either an email or through WhatsApp, because it's a PDF manual with 200 slides. So you just inquire, then I will send you details. Then once you pay, then I will send you. It's one of the most lucrative manual. I've seen people who have bought it, they always testify.
How much is the manual, Mr. Nema?
It's only $20
Oh,
a copy.
$20. That's fine. That's fine. I think it's doable. It's doable. So guys, any questions for Mr. Nhema on what he has presented just now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, who is coming up? I can't see.
Gertrude.
Gertrude, go ahead. If you want to turn your video on, you can turn your video on, Gertrude, if you can.
No, I'm okay. Just good evening, Mr. Nhema.
Yes, greetings.
I wanted to ask you about contract farming. What are the requirements for one to join the contract farming for chicken? And do you have got a minimum number that you require for a farmer to have? And yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. The requirements for you to start the contract farming with us is that you must have a fowl run which accommodates a minimum of 200 chickens. So what you do is you just send us your inquiry, whether on our email or through my WhatsApp. I will provide my WhatsApp number. Then as well as email, I will write on the chatbot. So I will send you a contract, which is you go through. It's about a 5-page contract. If you are happy with it, we assess whether you've got capacity, especially on the fowl run. Once we are happy with that, you then come and book for your for your chicks, which will not take you 7 days to receive your chicks. Normally, it doesn't take you 7 days unless it's summertime. So you buy your feed, we can do a quote for you, then you can then produce your chicks. We also provide extension services to ensure that you are keeping the chickens, because we believe once we give you our bloodline, we must ensure that it doesn't die. As long as you are in contract with us, we know that we are also benefiting from you, because we believe as a producer, we have got a synergy. These are synergies. So we don't want you to lose out, because when you lose out, we also lose.
Okay. So on this contract farming, I, the farmer, will buy the chicks from you, or you provide the chicks for me. And
Okay. Yeah. The contract farming actually is as a result of realizing that there are other farmers who have good capacity in terms of capital, but they don't have a market. So what we do is we don't give you any loan. We don't give you chicks for free. We are saying, if you have good capacity, you can buy from us. We assist you to keep them up to point of lay. We provide the market for you. So your role now is just to produce, and we are the guarantee of the market. And we have been doing this over years, and it's happening. And what I have realized over years is once you start with us, our chicks are the best pure bloodline. Once you start with us, you will see other people close to you wanting to buy you off, to say, where are you supplying? No, can you give me your fetal eggs? I will top up, I will buy better than Nma Chickens, right? I've seen that happening, because even the chickens which you supply, I tell you, in terms of plumage, in terms of quality, they are quality chickens, because we believe in our bloodline.
Okay. Suppose I get a point of play from you, then I start hatching eggs. If I've got an incubator, I hatch eggs. So can I, soon after the eggs are hatched, can I give the chicks to you to sell?
No, we don't buy chicks from farmers now. We buy fetal eggs. Our business is selling chicks.
Okay.
We breed. So the moment you sell chicks now, you want to say you are now conflicted. You are no longer a producer for us. You are now a competitor, right? Though we are not afraid of competition. So we are saying our business model is such that our contract farming is you only buy point of lay or fetal eggs.
Oh, you don't get chicks, you don't take chicks from. Okay.
We don't take chicks because our business is selling chicks.
Okay. I thought you take chicks and sell them through, I don't know.
The issue is, on the chicks, we don't have control on the quality of the chicks which you are going to hatch from your own hatchery.
Okay.
You see where I'm coming from? Because
Yeah.
chicks, these are living organisms. I tell you, just the environment which you hatch them from, both others in terms of biosecurity. These are some of the challenges. Then the other issue is the issue of vaccination. There are vaccines which are required on hatching these chicks. So once you hatch chicks and you supply us, we will not be able to the issue of quality control, because we want to protect our customers. We want to know where our chicks are coming from. We don't have that arrangement where we are then coming for those who are doing hatching. We only do with the producers. We do fertile eggs and the point of layers.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
So I'm just checking. Thanks, Gertrude, that you got your response. Trish Senior is asking, do you offer on-site training?
Yes, we do offer on-site training. We have got our qualified team who can come on the ground and teach your guys actually on how to brood chicks, how to vaccinate and feeding program, as well as even in terms of constructing farmers in the event that you have event. Right now, I've got one of my employees who have taken one of our clients. They've gone together, and you'll be staying there at the farm for the next 5 days, because they've taken about 10,000 chicks to just today. So we do offer those on-site training. We can even actually assist the farmer to do brooding up until, because we believe that the first 2 weeks are very vital to the survival of your chickens.
Wonderful. Thanks, Mr. Nhema. I'm actually one of your customers the end of this March. But myself, I don't think I'll be able to buy the day-old chicks, because siya kuprazi nevakomana vaya dzinogona kufa. Ini now I would prefer 4 weeks old, 6 weeks dzekuti dzamboti sambijana, because I want to blend this with goats. You know, the Bushveld, when it was produced in relation with animals. Anga achita plug matics and all that from the goats and all that. But myself, I would want the Black Australorp. I once did it before, but I think I'm one of your customers. I'm pledging that I'll get 100 or more chicks from you end of March, so that we are able to start off the business. We have already grown our own feed, but we'll buy concentrate just to try and mix. I don't know if you'd want to touch more on the issue of feed. Because myself, I'm believing that would need to do away with more of commercial feed, which would be very expensive. But maybe try to supplement, buy munga, toita chibage chedu, then we take concentrate, we mix.
Yeah.
Very, very true. Actually, you can make your own feed as a farmer. And actually, on the manual which I have just actually talked about, there is a feed formulation process where you have got all the mixing ratios which you want. All you need to know is where to get cheaper ingredients. Then you can mix that for yourself. What I just don't recommend is on the starter. Don't play around. You need to deal with feed from professionals. You need to buy from reputable companies, because with the starter, the first 2 weeks, like I've indicated, the chicks need the right amount of protein. They need the right amount of nutrients for them to at least come out of the porridge stage, which is actually the issues of mortality and also the issues of standard growth. But from growers to breeder, you can make your own feed. So it's cheaper to make your own feed, especially farmers pawanokowa papaya. You buy your maize in abundance, you then buy your soya, you and you buy your premix. Is there everything in the manual? Then for those who would want to do the natural organic way, you can do your munga, zio, you just mix your grains. They are very good at that. Actually, they thrive well when you have got that. But I've seen that munga is more expensive than chibage. if you noted, because if you look, a bucket of munga right now is going for around $14 against chibage around $10 etc. So if you have got feed, you can then mix your own feed. And also others are doing also maggot production, etc. So you can make your own feed, and it's there in the manual. It has got all several options of feed formulation. And also with roadrunners, the good thing about it is you don't really rely on commercial feed. All you do is you feed them just in the morning, maybe half of the recommended amount. During the day, you let them to forage. If you've got enough space, let them free range, right? You can even throw your chicken waste, your kitchen waste. You can even throw your cabbages, your vegetables. They really love them. What I do to my chickens, I just feed them in the morning. The rest of the day, I feed them on vegetables, on cabbages. They really love those cabbages, and it's a very good supplement for feed.
Right. Can I go ahead and ask a question?
Mkomatapiwa has got his hand up. You can go ahead, Mkomatapiwa. Mkomatapiwa
Right,
is one of our co-hosts in all this. He's one of the prominent guys in the UK, and he's got all the links up, and he's doing chickens as well in Zimbabwe. Mkomatapiwa, this is your
Right.
time.
So thanks, Nasha, and thanks to everyone for attending the meeting. Mr. Nhema, thank you for your time and for your knowledge. So I'm currently doing broilers at quite a large scale. What I wanted to find out is what do the numbers look like when you say for the contract farmers? What do you pay for the eggs, and what's the logistics, and what range do you work with on this contract? How far do people have to be from your depot or from your site to qualify for these contracts?
Okay, to qualify for this, in terms of the radius from Harare, it's 100 kilometers, right? Yes, you would see that in our contract is 60 kilometers, but we allow up to 100 kilometers actually in terms of transportation. Because the moment you are far away, actually the issue of transportation in terms of shaking, because these are fatal eggs. Then also in terms of payment, we pay $6 a crate. So imagine like a farmer who is producing about 100 crates a week, we are paying about $600. So what you do about it's not like you supply every day. So you pick the eggs on your farm, you keep them up to 7 days. So the 7th day, that's when you bring them to us. We pay actually on delivery, because eggs can stay for up to 7 days before even putting in the hatchery. What we don't just allow is more than a week, because by that time they will be developing in terms of actually embryo development. So which means in a month you supply 4 times a month.
Okay, that's a very good business model. I'm very impressed. And then my other question is, with the investment for someone to produce, let's say, if you want to be targeting maybe doing 500 eggs a week on delivery, how many birds do you require for what type of setup would you require for that?
500 eggs per week is quite a small number. What I would then recommend is you have a minimum of 200 chickens, right? So for 200 chickens, you are picking at least around 150 eggs a day, because we have subtracted cocks is in like your cock to hen ratio. So 150 eggs a day times 7 days, that's almost over 1,000 eggs per week. So
Okay.
that's the minimum I would recommend.
Okay,
Because
that's
the more numbers we have, you cut on expenses.
Of course.
Right?
What I want to figure
Both
out,
from the feeding perspective and also in terms of vaccination, because normally you'd see vaccines are sold as 1,000 doses. So it's cheaper to vaccinate more numbers than small numbers. It's cheaper to feed more numbers than small numbers.
Of course, I understand the economy of scale, but what I wanted why I'd asked for that number is I want to break down backwards, seeing the cost of the investment and the return over a period of time. So we know that if I'm delivering, let's assume I'm doing 1,000 eggs then, or a minimum of 200 birds, or how many they produce 200. You said 200 birds can produce about 150 eggs a day, correct?
Yes.
And so in that 150 eggs a day over 7 days would be about 1,000 eggs, correct?
Mhm.
And
Yes.
1,000 eggs. And how much do you pay for? You pay per crate or per case for the eggs?
We pay for a crate of 30.
You pay for a crate of 30. So okay, yeah. So let's use 1,500 eggs.
Mhm.
Just an example. If someone's doing 1,500 eggs, how many chicks do they need? Do they need 400 birds for that? Would that be a good estimate?
For 400 eggs, you are looking at 2,100 eggs per week.
Okay.
You are looking at 2,100 eggs per week. So if you divide that by 30, that's 70 crates. That's 70 crates in a week. 70 crates times 6, which is 7 and 6, that's $420. So
A week.
at any given time, if you sell for 420, know that your profit is half. Right? No, your
Okay, yeah.
profit is half, which
Yeah.
is for $210 a week. So 210 it becomes your working capital or your profit, isn't it? So
Of course, yeah.
the other part then goes to your, in terms of your staff salaries,
Yeah,
your
your
fees,
feed.
etc. Exactly. So
Okay.
the good thing about this is you have good control of the parent stock, right? So
Yeah.
sometimes you can say, Mr. Nhema, this week instead, when I'm supplying you 70 crates, please, I'm only selling you half of that. The other half, H for me, I would want to keep chicks so that I grow my numbers. So as a farmer,
Okay.
it
Yeah.
allows you to grow your business whilst you're making money. So you want your chickens, the only 5 months you are going to take keeping them is the only 5 months you'll be supporting from your pocket. But the moment you start selling, the business start to self-support itself.
Okay, that's very interesting. And then and when you have other chicks on the farm, like if you have broilers or layers on the farm, is that conducive for the type of birds you guys are talking about, or would you have to distance them in different plots or different areas?
It's conducive. All what you want is to do is to ensure that there's a distance between the road runners and the broilers. For example, road runners are more disease resistance. They are strong.
Yes,
So actually, broilers, they are very sensitive in terms of
of course.
disease.
Yeah.
So you need to space in maybe at least you need to have a distance of around 20 to 30 meters
Oh,
away
okay.
from each other in terms of the fowl run.
Okay.
And make sure that broilers are on your eastern side than road runners. Where the wind blows, it must blow to the direction of the road runners because they are stronger in their resistance in terms of diseases.
Okay. Okay. And from your market analysis right now, with the way business is happening for you guys, how much demand do you have to take on bigger contracts? As in, do you project growing, or is it most contracts are full? Like if people are going to become a supplier, if someone's going to come in and maybe 10,000, 20,000 birds, would you be able to take on and supply and accommodate such sizes?
Currently, it's not easy for a farmer to produce 10,000 birds, especially on road runners.
Okay.
Yes, I've got a client who has bought 10,000 birds.
Yeah.
But it's not easy to have 10,000 beds, because in terms of the capital outlay which is required, it's a lot, especially on feeding them, right?
Okay.
You are looking at around actually to produce 10,000. Actually, it takes about $4.50 to produce a bird to point of lay. So you need then
Okay.
to calculate 10,000 times $4.
That's 450 to
That's
45,000. Yeah. Yeah. So
that's
that's
40,000.
yeah,
Yeah,
45,000.
so you see, a farmer normally would have invested more on the fowl run, etc. So now to have a budget for feed. So what I would recommend is start with a figure of around 5,000 going down. But for Nma chickens, we've got the capacity to take those eggs. We have got the capacity to take those eggs because we have got a constant market. We have got a market, and like I've told you that we have got NGOs who are taking from us and supplying people in the rural areas, and this is the biggest market. Currently, government is taking chickens every week. right?
Okay. And what numbers are you guys, if you don't mind me asking, what numbers are you guys doing maybe in a month on sales when it talks about the chicks that you guys are selling, your day-old chicks?
Yeah, like I've told you, we've got the capacity to produce 100,000 chicks in 3 weeks, every 3 weeks.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
so no, we'll definitely
Now,
be coming
we're even increasing our capacity. We've got a 20,000 capacity, which we are going to commission first week of February.
And if you are counting in terms of numbers, Mkoma Tapiwa, that's 1 million.
Yeah, that's 1 million. Yeah, exactly. I've worked the math. So I'll definitely be doing a site visit and coming over. We've been doing broilers, and we'd actually have plenty of space to actually come into this new end of business. And your contracts are actually very interesting, because it's a weekly supply, and it also saves you from cash flow. For someone who's been doing broilers, the whole thing of waiting the 6-week cycle and going to market and everything else is quite a tough system. But we've been doing it for some time now. But also, with you guys paying weekly, once you hit that 5-month, 6-month period, that really would save anyone in the farming enterprise, because cash flow is a big thing. So we definitely have a conversation.
Yeah, good thing about Roadrunner is that cash flow, money is coming every day. Just today I was counting money, right? I don't wait for 6 weeks. And let me tell you one thing. The funny thing is, I also enjoy. I do goats. I do the boa goats, the Mashona type. I'm crossing. I'm a breeder and I enjoy livestock. I always, because of my space at the farm there, I've been doing green maize right now. I tell you today, there's a customer who came and he wanted to 50 dozens, and he came. They actually did whatever the transaction. So when he was now paying my guys at the plot, he paid $100. So it's more like we're selling $2 a dozen, which is 12 millicobs. So I sold 20 chicks, day-old chicks at $5 each, the special breeds. They gave me $100. So I'm saying a dozen, 50 dozens times 12. That's how many millicobs? 50 times 12. That's over 500. It's giving me $100. But I'm selling 20 chicks. It's giving me $100. I said no. I can't do maize. No. Yeah. A hectare of maize will give me less than $500, but I'm telling you, in just 100 chicks, they're giving me $500. So Roadrunner is more like Shimbazo. I tell you, some people thought it's the Chihuahua syndrome, but look, we are now almost 8-10 years into the business, and I'm saying this is the real deal, because we're talking of chickens, and chicken is real, right? And I'm thinking you agree with me that your favorite dish normally is chicken. The first priority in any restaurant is chicken.
No,
If you go to
absolutely.
Dubai, I was in Dubai just last year December for Christmas. The most actually dish there is chicken, because they don't do pork, they don't do it's just chicken. So it's the market.
No, of course, no, absolutely. Even for broilers and stuff, the market is high. Christmas, the demand is so high for chickens that a lot of people run out. You can't get day-old chicks. You can't even. We sold out within the first week of December, and we're hoping to be selling, but it's something that people will never stop consuming. I think a few things that have worked well for us is also the government with the policies of no imports of certain type of poultry meats and stuff like that, which creates a market and demand that will always be there, because Zimbabwe is protected from the big supplier, the big producers like Brazil and stuff. So we have to make our own chickens, which obviously then we consume our own, and the quality is good. If you compare the quality of chicken in Zimbabwe and outside, our flavors are high. You know what I mean? You can attest to this when you travel and everything. So chicken is big. When you travel, that's the first thing that you miss. So yes, that's a story that will never die, guys. The demand for chicken will always be there, varieties and stuff, and even traditionally and culturally. So it's something that's in us. You know what I mean? We'll never not have that. Don't want to share mombe, but
And do you know what I told my mother in the rural areas? I used to have some cows. I sold off them and said, no, you can sell them in the They said, no, but Mombe is a symbol of wealth. Why are you didn't say to my mom? Do you know with one road run, I can buy a cow end of the year. Every year, one chicken can buy me a cow, because I have got special breed chickens which I sell at $5 a chick. Like the Brahmas, the Opingtons. Because me, besides I do the commercial chickens, then I do the show quality chickens. So one bird lays about, say, 20 eggs in a month for me. If I hatch, I can hatch 15 chicks. 15 chicks by 5, that's $75 in a month. Times 10 months. I will leave the other 2 months for cost. Times 10 months, that's $750. So how many cows can I buy? So I don't need cows. And in Mombe zangu ihuku. I tell you, this is money. Kuna vanhu vanotaura kuti ini ndakavaka imba nehuku, ndine mastands nehuku, ndine ma-investments nehuku. Now I have developed a villa in Victoria Falls nehuku, right? I have got an Airbnb now because of chickens.
And I wanted to ask you about that villa, Mr. Nhema.
Yeah.
I saw it, and I saw it coming, and it was there on internet. It's actually something that is very lucrative. Do you want to tell us about that villa?
Yeah.
Because I saw it,
Actually,
something that is
you know,
very, very, very good. Yeah.
The name itself can tell you, it was developed after the famous Opington breed. Like, isn't like we've got the Buff Opington, Cuckoo Opington. So when I was discussing with my wife, we said, no, we need to name this after our chickens, the famous Opington. So we named it Opington Villas. Actually, it's one of the high-end villas. I tell you, if you look at the furniture there, it's the high-end. So we are families. Yeah, if you have got your holiday, you want to come to Zimbabwe, I tell you, you have the best experience in Victoria Falls at the Opington Villas. It's actually, these villas, they come with in 3-bedroom suites where you can book for your family. Actually, our starting price, just we opened that this year in January. Our starting price is just $200 a night, but our peak period is $350 a night. So it's quite good, and we have been seeing progress. And in terms of bookings and the customers, even in terms of the views, they really enjoy the experience, because we have gone for the high-end furniture. And I tell you, it's the only villa or Airbnb in Zimbabwe. When you go there, you get your own gown, right? Including your kids.
So I'm hoping you'll host some of us who want to come and learn more about chickens. You should do a Victoria Falls workshop at this villa.
You are welcome. You are welcome.
We would definitely talk to Nacha behind the scenes, because we always have groups traveling down, especially for business and stuff, and we'd love to actually just support the Airbnb and support the chicken business. I think I'll be in Zimbabwe, hopefully maybe in the coming week and stuff, and definitely pay a visit. But from the numbers I'm seeing and the way this thing has been broken down, it's very simple. You just need to commit, and we're definitely in. I'm absolutely impressed by how you set your business up and how you're working, because we always hear so many sad stories about businesses. Hey, it's corrupt. Hey, it's this and that. It's always happy. It's always great to have testimonies like yours. What other organizations have helped you system-wise, maybe trainings and stuff that you've worked with in Zimbabwe?
If I say this, to be honest, you would think that I'm lying. I've never received any financial training or technical training. The only support I've received is through myself. Like, I've used the expertise of expert veterinary private vets, because I've had challenges with the government vets. They always want to be paid. You know, the payment itself, it will be more than even the private vet. So I have used private vet doctors to train my staff in terms of disease management, biosecurity, even the issue of vaccination of chickens. And this also even visits my sites every week. I've got Dr. Shangwa. He is a very good friend of mine now. He does the vaccination for all my chickens. He does also in terms of in the event that we have got mortality. I tell you, I don't take it lightly. Each chickens which dies, I send it for post-mortem, and it costs about $10 to do post-mortem, because I know I know the value, and I need to investigate the cause of death for that particular chickens. You also do the vaccination for my goats, for my dogs. I also do dog breeding on a minimum scale. So in terms of assistance, to be honest, I've never yet any assistance from whether private but it's through my own initiative, which, and also it's through my own passion, which I've done a lot of research. I do a lot of actually watching YouTube videos for other farmers who have done it well, especially in Kenya, etc. I spend much of my time researching on how best I can improve in terms of my business, and I now believe in myself. It's in me. What I have learned actually in this business is you don't need to do self-on farming. You need to be on the ground. And I tell you, just 3 days are enough to kill your whole flock. What is important is that you need to ensure that if you are in the diaspora, you've got a good manager. Make sure that they give you daily updates, daily reports. If it means having Wi-Fi, you must have a video of the chickens every day. You must have what we call a strategic report. Every day you must know the number of chickens which have actually laid. You must have, in my report, for example, I've got a strategist group which I've opened with all my staff. I get from the farm, I developed a system whereby each and every fowl run, I count the number of hens and the number of cocks. So on the report, you have a number of hens, say 5,000, you have a number of cocks, say 500. So on every report, you know that he is reporting that we have got 5,000 hens and 500 cocks. In the event of a mortality, you minus, you subtract that bit. So that's how you get to track in terms of self-checking, in terms of audit. Because we don't want a situation whereby you're out there, you're just getting the numbers to say, no, we've got 5,000 chickens, now they've laid, say, 4,500 eggs. But you are not getting in terms of your number of stock to say how much have gone down and how many have increased. So it's important to put that in a daily report. So I demand that by 6 o'clock, I got the report. By 7 o'clock, I would have reviewed the reports and send a feedback to say, noted. Or if I've got questions, I ask questions. The same with my sales office. I get daily sales reports. And I make sure that if I'm selling your vaccines, I'm selling feed, I'm selling chickens, I'm selling chicks, I'm selling fertile eggs, they've got a line item where they report each and every item to say on fertile eggs of say they have sold how many eggs and this the type of breed which you have sold. And when I've got questions, I answer there. In that way, you minimize the amount of risk. So it's always important, and I've learned this over years. Never assume or never trust. It's always important to have those soft checks.
Amazing work. That obviously systems and structures will always be the best thing, because, like you're saying, never assume, never trust, always verify. And there are a lot of lessons to be learned in that. I'm hoping that you're writing a book so that the rest of people can also access and learn from your testimony, my guy, because this is definitely amazing stuff.
You know what inspires me. The good thing is, like, I've seen people now I stay in Norton, though I run everything in Harare. So what started is, like, I bought a plot in around Norton. There's an area called Nyabira Sunside, just after Snake World. So I used to drive from town to that farm, which is 35 kilometers away. So then I was just thinking to say, you know what, I don't want to live this urban life. I want to stay at the farm. But there came a time when there was some stands which were sold just after Lake Chwero. I then realized it was close to the highway. Where if I want to go to Harare, I'll just go, and it's close to my farm. Now my farm is just 3 kilometers away from my house. I then bought 2 stands there. I built a house. So whenever I'm going to town, I can go through the farm, via the farm. Whenever I'm coming from town, I go through the farm. So my employees have no time to lie to me, because anytime I can be there. So that's how strategic I am. So I'm close to the farm. I can go anytime. I can each and every time. So I think that's also lead me to the success of Nma Chickens, because as the business owner, I'm on the ground. I'm much more on the grounds than I'm on the phone. Most of the clients during the day, they always say, no, you don't respond to your messages. They say, no, I'm available in the morning between 6 a.m. and 7:30. Then in the evening from 6:30 to 10 o'clock, I'm available. During the day, I'm growing the business.
Well, that's great. That's great. I'm seeing a message from Fari. She's asking, what is the best ratio of hen to roaster from your experience? That's from
Okay.
Fari.
Yeah, all right, Fari. If you are to get the best fertility in terms of the outcome, the ratio should be 1:5, which means 1 cock, 5 hens. So this is the one which gives you the best fertility. So that's my recommendation: one cock, 5 hens. Then also there was a question of Airbnb in Harare. We are building one. Very soon we should be actually updating you on the Airbnb. But right now we are in Victoria Falls. If you are coming to Zimbabwe, we are welcome to Victoria Falls. Enjoy your stay at Opon Villas. Then also there's a question: are you into piggery? No, we are not into piggery, but we are also into goat production, as well as dog breeding.
I need a dog, Mr. Nemo. I'm into goats like now. I'm coming for your chickens, but I need a dog, but I need chickens. I'm paying them up. I really wanted to pay up. Like now I'm looking into your link. I wanted to pay for the module. Like now,
Okay.
then you give me my module as we are speaking on this video. Then I really want to purchase chickens. But I don't want the day-old chickens. The day-old will give me problems. Because for me to follow
Don't
up the
worry.
boys, Guprazga, I got my one.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the biggest challenge which we are having as farmers, especially wannabe entrepreneurs and also people in the diaspora. The issue of trust issues. I believe, it's important to at first get the right people. As Nma Chickens, we can assist you to have the right people. We train them, we capacitate them. We also assist you to do extension service to supervise your project. So it's like that you don't run into losses, because just getting someone, putting them on the ground, I tell you, I think is the state of the affairs currently, which you are facing, where people are no longer trustworthy.
That's a very good point. But the other truth also is, Mr. Nhema, is the diaspora community also don't have some skills that are required to be on the ground. It's a learning process. Just like you've been in business for some time, there are things you learn over time. And some people are just quick to calculate the numbers and think that if I have the 10,000 and I have the land, it means in 30 days or in 6 months I'll be making the money. But there's a whole process to learn and things you need to put in place, systems and structures that work towards yourself. And the other truth that people also hide from, which I've tried to tell people, is pay people right to get the right professionals to do what you need to do. It doesn't matter what the economical situation is like. The moment you're willing to pay the professionals within that economy right, the better chances you have. Like you're saying, you use private vets and everything else, and they have their own rates. So if you do those things right, then you just increase your chances, because business is always risk. So those are things people need in place. And even if it's family members and stuff, they require the right training and the right systems in place, so you have a proper working relationship that doesn't compromise your relationship with family members and stuff. And business is business and family is family. You know what I mean? Just say because you should know but it means we can't work together and we have targets to meet. So it's those things that we all need to learn, and we need to get over those things. For a lot of guys at diaspora now, we and some of us have been trying to show people how it's done. You need the frequent visits home. You need a trusted team. You need to do things professionally. You need to work with people also vetting wise from day one. Like in our group now international, we usually don't recommend people we've never seen or spoken to, we've never done business with before, because even within Zimbabwe, there are a lot of snake oil business people who are there today and they're not there tomorrow. So a lot of things can happen at any level. So it's about understanding and being on the ground and doing things right. So that's the only way you can survive. I think if you see a lot of people, it's not that people don't have ideas or don't have the commitment, the capital, but it's that execution of it that requires you to know what level you need to do things at so that you're successful.
You are very much right, and I agree. I agree with you. A successful business takes years to grow. A successful business takes time. You please don't even think that if you see Nma Chicken succeeding, you can do it in 6 months. Like I've told you about the journey, it took us 3 years to start to realize profits, because you need to grow the business, and there are challenges in business. But what is important is you need to invest in the right skills. You need to train your people. You need to ensure that you pay them the right salary. Don't attract monkeys. You attract monkeys by paying less. It's important that you are really realistic about the state of affairs in the country, because these employees, they work a lot, they put their all. It's important that you also pay them. And the issue of training is very, very, very vital. Never start a business without training. You need to do your due diligence, you need to do your research, and once you are so sure of it, then find the right person to train your staff, especially on chicken production. It's important for employees to know the right amount of feed which are fed on chickens, because otherwise they can waste feed. It's important to know even in terms of vaccination. For example, right now when you have vaccinated chickens, you never use chlorinated water. So sometimes the chickens can feel sick because they are vaccinated with actually chlorine, and there's no efficacy in terms of the drug. So it's important to capacitate your employees. Like I've told you, if you go through the Roadrunner manual, it's only $20. You get some insights, and from there you can then be able to then actually direct your staff. And it's important that just to send them to one or 2 days training, just to have the basic training to say how do you keep chickens. Just a week is enough for someone to run a project. All you need is never underestimate the value of training. Me personally, I've got a professional chef who is now coming to teach my wife, my niece, and my maid to cook. And the past 2 days, I was even commenting to say the food is now nice. Training, you can't even, you can't even cut it off. It's important.
And my name trainer. It's actually very I value that is very important, because
Yeah,
the moment you put you put ma Royco and whatsoever, it's actually different from someone who is trained, who knows kuti after so many minutes nyama inenge yaibva kusvika pakadai, so you need to put this, you
exactly.
need to put that. That's very important. We have
Very
Frank.
true.
Frank has been vouching for you, Mr. Nhema, before you came in. Frank is doing business with you. He has got his hand up. He wanted
All
to
right.
say something, and we have got questions again in the chat box. There's a Samsung
Okay.
asking how much is the training for chickens, and Tipeo linked Tenge that manual. I can't wait to read through. Then thank you, Mr. Nhema. I'm tapping into the business. That's Tentai. Then Fari, the question is already responded. Frank, I'm sure you can go ahead as of now. Then we get more questions as they come in.
All right, thank you.
Hi,
Thank you.
Frank.
Hi, Mr. Nima, how are you?
Yes.
Good. Thank you, Kunewaka created this platform. At least we are linking up, and we've managed to put everything in the palm of your hands. It's just a click of a button away. Then we've got access to link ups like last week with Dr. Barnabas, and this week I'm glad we've got Mr. Nhema. I think Mr. Nhema, I started knowing this gentleman through Facebook and YouTube. I'm not on the ground. I'm in the UK. Then yeah, I managed to get hold of his team, the sales ladies. That was my first port of contact, and I want to find my contact numbers. Sorry, it might sound like a testimonial, but I think it's worth it because it's very difficult to do business when you're not on the ground with most of these sources in Zimbabwe. So the ladies, they were professional. They picked up my call. Then I had to send through my business partner, Mr. Madzonga, to your offices. We made purchases. Then he actually made a trip. I'm not no. If you come on the ground, you have an appreciation of what you're doing. Then Mr. Madzonga went there. He met one of your guys, and he asked as many questions as he could. Which we helped with. The next day, I think our chicks were delivered. Then we took them there. Mr. Nhema, I think part of the package sales, if you had told us about if your guys, your sales team, had told us about the manual, you could have saved us, because I know the mortalities do happen. But you find good when something that you want, if you are so passionate about something, you lose one chick. You're like, ow, what's happening? Like us, we are mathematical. We're like, okay, this chick was supposed to give me 300 eggs a day. How much have I lost through one? Then you find it's 5, then it goes to 10. So next time, please tell them to market that manual also, because we have to invest in knowledge. And probably if you can have a department that can offer like my follow-up service, you guys, say since you bought, because what had happened now, the chicks have gone to the farm, they are dying, and we are trying to come up with solutions. Then I know it all. They come on the ground, then they're like, these chicks, when you bought them, they were not 2 weeks, they were actually 1 day old. I'm like, no, but this gentleman with such a reputation he has, I don't think he is so probably going forward, mukatipoka platform futhi kuti atenga mutikanda WhatsApp group, because I'm shocked kuti mune WhatsApp groups. One, you never gave us that platform book. 2, atinotozoti mune WhatsApp groups, because they paine WhatsApp groups they kanda tichipiwa information, tichipiwa that support group. So you need to really tell us when we start, because we want to walk this journey with you. Yes, there's no one who wants to be a failure, because once I fail, akazontaura futi zvokuti shamwari ita ma free range or ma black astral, I'll tell them, listen, I've tried it, I've bought chicks from Mr. Nhema, that business model is not going to work, which means kuti to prevent the potential clients who are supposed to come through into the business model. But generally, thank you so much, because I've been asking you directly, and you've always responded. Send my pictures, let's see your file, and I think it's to do with the ventilation. And yes, we've reviewed, and I'm glad to say we didn't know also because the first time we are doing it, you have to quarantine or to isolate it. So yeah, the only comment I can say to you is I think I've inboxed you before. You know what? I'm so much appreciative with your team, and I wish, as Zimbabweans, if only we can be that professional. If there's going to be 5 or 10 of us, I'm telling you, we'll change the dynamics of doing business in Zimbabwe. Thank you, Mr. Nhema, and all the best.
Thank you so much, Frank, for your support, and also thank you for your feedback. I know I've been interacting with you just, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago. We talked, and I asked for certain, and in view of that, for you, I'm going to send the manual to you free of charge. Thank you so much for being honest and giving the feedback as it is. And I've learned, and we're going to do more in terms of marketing the manual. We are posting it on Facebook. I'll also add you actually in our WhatsApp platforms. Actually, we have got 5 groups, honestly, and there's also another WhatsApp platform for diasporians, for the diaspora community, specifically for the diaspora community is there, and I'm the administrator of that group. So I will send in my contact here. Please send me your messages. Then I'll add you in that platform. And like I've indicated, we are also learning from your feedback. We are going to put an extension service. Actually, we had one where we have actually a manager actually traveling around to our farmers and also assisting. But the challenge is sometimes the farmers, they don't want to pay. You know, there's nothing called a free service. Everything comes at a cost. And when you pay the right service, you get the right quality of service. So it's important that, so as Nma Chickens, we say we need fee or we need this consultants fees for that particular oil. Support us, invest into your business, then we'll give you the best value. So thank you so much. We are looking towards to a fruitful relationship, Frank.
Yeah, thank you so much, Frank. Frank has been very optimistic. He started even before we started the meeting. And
Okay.
I'm very happy that he managed to get through and he pushed his sentiments across. There's nothing for free, guys. There's nothing for free. The only thing that we can gain for free is this meeting that we are having now. And it's
Yes.
all about linking up and meeting up. The reason why I pushed for Mr. Nhema to come to us. Also, myself, I want to link with him. I want to get chicks from him, not for free. But I want to have an access to him to say, when I say, Mr. Nhema, I'm coming to Zimbabwe. Right now, I've been looking at my ticket and I wanted to say, Mr. Nhema, I'm coming on Saturday day. I'm coming to Zimbabwe. I've started with goats, I've started with this, but I've planted I've planted more than 7 hectares as we speak of feed. But the 7 hectares that I have planted, I want someone who can guide me through. So if you see me listening to whatever that you'll be saying, it's not as like I'm just listening. I'm actually tapping and making sure that AI captures whatever you are saying. Because we are tired of putting money on things that do not give us profit.
Yes.
And we can agree here, Mr. Name. We are not even, as Zimbabwe, we are not capable of meeting the markets that we have as we speak. With chickens, with goats, with beef, we can't meet those markets. Simply because one farmer can produce 100 chickens or 1,000 chickens, but in the next month is not able to produce the same.
True.
So, will you call yourself a farmer? You're not a farmer, but you're just someone who are just getting into the business for the sake of getting money for that particular season, but you wait for the next season for you to get money. But we want to produce farmers for Zimbabwe who are able to produce for the rest of the year. Every 3 months, 6 months, it's cold. Mr. Nhema can manage to manipulate the chickens to adapt to the cold weather. They push through the 3 to 6 months, they go to the summer. They push through again the summer, they go to the rain season. This is what we want in Zimbabwe. And we are able to meet the market. Because I've realized, I've been talking to Wenceslas of Afrostain.
Mm-hmm.
He was telling me, like, guys, you know what? These chickens that we're talking about, at times, they are demanded as tons. Mr. Nhema, how many tons are you able to produce for this particular quarter? And then you will realize that Mr. Nhema is not even able to produce quarter of the ton. That is required.
That's really is right.
Yeah, quarter of the ton, imagine. And
We
if
don't
you are
have
able to
consistency.
produce
We don't
just,
have the numbers.
yeah. So let's build the numbers. Let's suppose Mr. Nhema, we get the chicks from Mr. Nhema, we put them at our plots, we put them, it does not even require 50 hectares or 40 hectares. It requires
Actually,
eight.
we have got the people who are trying to survive, not farmers.
Yes,
The reality is, actually, buyers, they want tons, 20 tons,
yes,
20 tons of chickens per week. But you are saying,
yes.
these chickens, they take long to grow. And we are
Yes.
looking at only Mr. Nhema who is producing numbers, but Mr. Nhema is not able to supply the whole market, the entire market. That's why we
Yes.
are indebted with the bookings right now. One is booking today, and we are having this backlog in waiting period. I said, come as farmers, let's produce together. Let's have
Yes.
the right numbers. Let's have an
Yes.
association where we are able to supply a consistent market. There was a
Yes.
time when the Chinese came here around 2016. They had to do it. They wanted actually the Zimbabwean market to supply them chickens. They did a study, a research, and only realized that the amount of chickens which were in the market were only able to save them for one line. So we are joking.
Yeah. And we are not even meeting the demand.
Exactly.
If you look at the goats, we say we have got goats in Zimbabwe. The goats that we have in Zimbabwe, they do not even meet even a third of the market that is required. A person who is having 100 goats in Zimbabwe is playing. You're playing. Because these Muslims, they will come and tell you that we want 20 tons of goat meat. They are calculating in tons. So if we have got 5 farmers, we have got 500 females that are reproducing. That's where we can say, no, we are now starting to do business. So the reason why we are bringing Mr. Nhema here, we are saying, no, Mr. Nhema, you have got the chickens, you have got the proper breeds. Let's start with the proper breeds from Mr. Nhema. Let's buy the Australops. Let's buy the cuckoos. You tell us what is required in the market. If I come to you, Mr. Nhema, I buy 100 chicks. I told you, like myself, I won't be able to buy the day-old chicks because I won't be there. But I would want maybe 4 weeks old. Then I'm able to buy them. I keep them at the farm. They are produced. Then we say, let's register it. Let's put it into a consortium. And you know that at Nolan Farm, we have got 200 or 300 chickens that we have put there. Of course, we are going to calculate the cocks, we are going to calculate the hens. But how much is Nolan Farm producing in a quarter? Then we know the amount of chickens that we are producing. This is where we want to go. Myself, I wouldn't want to exploit Mr. Nhema. He has got his business. The reason why I invited him here is for him to share what he has done. And this is what he has shared. He did a lot of homework for us. What we want is to tap in the homework that he did for us.
Yeah.
And now it's getting easy for us. Let's build the numbers. Let's buy the chicks from him. Let's try to register through the association. Let's have the Chickens Association of Zimbabwe, the Roadrunners. And that way, we are good to go. You can go ahead.
You're absolutely right. And one thing that I just need, I'm sure Mr. Nhema will testify to, so anyone who's traveled, right? The meat that comes from Zimbabwe always gets a premium price because of the flavor and the natural feeding that we do to our goats, our chickens, and everything else. So people must realize that even if you look at the prices of international markets, Zimbabwean meat will always take the better prices because of the quality produced. And if we just start exporting, there's demand everywhere that we'll never be able to meet outside of the local market. And the quality that we produce by default, without any special things in place or any synthetics or injections or anything else, the quality is always high. You know what I mean? If beef was the beef that we used to export, the goat meat and all those other things, that even right now there's pork going to China, and it's actually rated higher than some of the local meat produced in China. So we should maximize on that and make sure that while people are building on the Zimbabwean front, we are also building a market internationally for what's coming out of Nma Chickens.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, and I like this kind of insight. What I want to assure you is Nma Chickens is into serious production, and Nma Chickens into serious breeding. And I've told you like the footprint which you have made right now. If I tell you, Botswana, I had a testimony. Actually, there's one one guy from Namibia who came in December for a holiday. Actually, he wanted to meet me and say, the way Nma Chickens is popular in Namibia, I tell you, keep it up. And one said in Botswana, Nma Chickens is just like Pick and Pay, just like TM supermarket or case. It's not outside than than Zimbabwe. It's all because of how serious we are in this business. And the one thing I tell you, honestly, myself, I think I'm a man of integrity. I don't tolerate the nonsense, especially when it comes to even my employees in terms of service delivered. Because if an employee comes to work and if they bath coming to work, going to work, they must be able to deliver the service to the customers, right? Augeze kumeso kuti unoshainira macustomer and augeze kumeso kuti unobira macustomer. You know, one thing which has made us to be where we are is being honest, being integral. I known people vachivharwa actually, especially diasporans vachivharwa nema-locals here. It's actually bad. We need to send the right message. We need to deliver value. And I tell you, day in, day out, I get requests, UK numbers, Ireland, Australia. I supply a lot of diasporans, and it is my hope that you tap in this business. You see the potential in this business, and you invest in this business, because this is the in thing. This is where we are going. And my dream is to push roadrunners, all roadrunner products to be in the market, in the supermarkets. We need a situation whereby we are supplying fertile eggs, table eggs, chickens in supermarkets. Actually, in 2026, I know Europe, they've banned the caged chickens. They need organic, free-range chickens. And this is the direction which we want to take. We have the capacity to supply Europe. We have the capacity to supply Asia. All what we need is to build on numbers. And it can only happen by uniting, having an understanding, coming up with an association, producing on the ground. Let's take this stance, and we are able to supply. And chickens is meat. Chicken is serious business.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Nma. I'm seeing some messages coming up. When this saying discussion is very progressive, is it possible that you people can join forces and produce en masse? For example, the consortium idea, come together in groups and produce on one farm and share costs and profits. It is easier to raise. It is easier to raise significant initial capital as well as working capital in groups. Then later on, you do a spin-off and split the consortium into smaller, more efficient business. Okay, Maonerake Wendy. Then there are people who are sending their emails as well, who may want to be joined into the other group. I've also added you, Mr. Nhema, into the Africa Diaspora Business Platform. Then Frank is saying, in fact, may I place an order for an extra 150 at 4 weeks old, so I increase my flock once? This is a jackpot. Frank, thank you so much, Frank.
Thanks, Frank. Can I just respond to Wendy real quick? Tinashe, I think we can actually start something on the group. I have an extra piece of land right now that I can commit to this, and a bit of funds at a small level where we can start off the consortium idea and work well with Nma, which we can just report back to the entire group on the progress and how we could execute this. I'm very eager to work with whoever wants to work with me, and I'm offering land and a bit of finances to this, so that we can just kickstart whatever we raise as a group. We also report as a group so people can see the progress, and we also just work very well with Mr. Nma to push this forward. Another thing I can also commit to, because I have networks in a few other countries. Whatever needs to be done, standard needs to be made to get export permits or export into particular countries. Let's get that information. Let's see what needs to happen. Within our network, we have an Amwale who are doing blueberries all the way from Zim to UK and other areas, and that can also work with what Nma has on the table. So let's open up all our networks. Let's push this up, guys. Any ideas? Let's share. Let's push it forward, and let's challenge things. Anyone who has an idea, I'm happy to work with. It pushes us forward, and it's a start. It's a start of great things.
Oh, thank
you, Tina, and thank you so much,
Yeah.
Wendy, for that question. I was going to respond.
So like you said, the radius is is 100K. So we are 37Ks outside of Harare. So we fall within the radius. So let's work, guys. Whoever wants to come on board, let's create a group. Let's do the consortium. Let's share this and push it as far as we can.
Yeah, I like the unity which you are doing as the diaspora community, and as Nma Chickens, we are ready to work together. We have the capacity in terms of the technical expertise and technical know-how. Was personally myself, I tell you, there's nothing which I don't know about chickens now over the years, which I've actually been raising and keeping chickens. And I pursue standards in everything I do. Even if you look at my background right now, I've put a nice office in my house where I keep all files. In the office in town, there are files. So I've got backup. I make sure that each and every detail which pertains to business is on the ground. I make sure that I am on the ground in everything I do. So when it comes to working together to ensure that we are successful in this business, we are ready to work together as with the diaspora community. All it takes is to come up with enough documentation, paperwork, so that we protect each other. We define the terms of reference for each and every member. If you're coming up with this an association, there's an association already which is ongoing, where we are recruiting membership in terms of the farmers coming together, such that if there's a market, we're able to supply together. For example, I've told you the impending tender of 25,000 point of lay. That's a big number, which demands everyone to come on the deck to ensure that we supply actually that tender. And we are saying, as Nma Chickens, we are open to work with be farmers and those who are already in the business. And I'm saying the time is now. Don't stop. You need not to stop. I tell you, the moment I started business, I don't cry about the state of the economy. I don't cry about what. All I care is where I am right now and how to improve, right? I always think business. Each and every day, I always think how I can improve. If I tell you just today, I was in the fire and the entire day actually changing the system in terms of now I've put it automatic feeders, automatic drinking system. So this is the kind of setup we would want farmers to always think on how to increase an extra dollar in their pocket. And I tell you, if you put that effort in everything you do, actually you definitely succeed. I've seen a lot of farmers from the diaspora who have done well. Like I've mentioned, I've got one farmer who always inspires me, Mr. Mbedzi. He's doing wonders. Actually, he's just got a farm by the airport there. He's one of my contract farmers. He's very good. He puts records. He's always in touch. Maybe I wonder if he's an accountant, because he's very good with records, and even he can trace in terms of feed to say this type of feed I have a reduction in terms of the lay rate. Mr. Nhema, he helped me here and said, no, stop. Can you give stress pack right now? Go for this kind of feed, etc., and it improves his actually. So is that kind of person who puts detail in everything he does. And I'm happy with the Tapiwa. He seems to be very practical on the ground. In that kind of attitude, I tell you, you succeed. It's not about the distance. It's about putting detail in everything you do. Like I've told you, in terms of your plans, in terms of your records. If you've got the right records, it's more like we are having a physical meeting with your staff whilst we are online, because the records will not lie.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Mr. Nhema. So, with the offer that Mkoma Tapiwa has offered, I'm very happy that he has offered that. I know him very well. He's a man of his word. And I'm also giving another offer myself. Of course, I'm far from Harare. But myself being far from Harare, I want to be one of the Midlands brokers, because I'm in Midlands. So I'll be one of the Midlands brokers. But what I'll be starting with, like I've offered, I'm going to buy the chicks from you, Mr. Nhema. And then if I buy, I put them at my farm. Then if you realize that the market is coming up, was booming up in Midlands, then we take it up from there. But the thing is, what we want is, we want to grow from the best. There's no way we are going to manage these chickens when we are doing from our own knowledge imagine I'm turning 40 and I'm starting to learn about chickens. It's going to take me 3-4 years for me to understand how they work around. But if I come to you, I tell you, Mr. Nhema, I want to buy 100 today. You tell me what is required, and then I'll be able to do exactly what is required for those particular 100 chicks. So myself, I'm going for the 4 to 6 weeks. This is what I'm doing. I don't want the day old because I know the boys can shortchange me, but I'm coming for the 4 to 6 weeks, and I'll be coming for 100 or more. And this is what I'll be doing. And it's all on this platform that we are going to showcase it as well to say this is what we have done. In Midlands, this is what we are doing. We don't know whites in this. We don't want whites in this. We are all blacks. We should be able to transform Zimbabwe the way we want. And we should be able to build millionaires in Zimbabwe the way we want. And we can only do it if we build the correct consortiums. We are out of Zimbabwe simply because of economic reasons. But when we are out, we have to give back to Zimbabwe because it's our country. That's my belief. So I'm very happy, Mr. Nhema, that you are actually pushing black empowerment and you have managed to do it. And I've been following you. If you see like my message, I always post, I know on Facebook, you may not be checking, but it doesn't matter. But I managed to try and push to make sure that we have a conversation with you. I will start.
Thank you.
Myself, I'm in Goma, but I also have another place in Chivu. Let's put the chickens there. If we
Very
put the
true.
chickens there, with your expertise, I'm meeting you in Harare. Definitely end of March.
One thing which will make you succeed, Tinashe, is you have started the right way to say I want 4 to 6 weeks, because you know what, people think that it's expensive to buy at 4 to 6 weeks, but not forgetting to say that the farmer who has brooded these chicks has also put feed, vaccinations, heating system, etc. All the farmer is doing just putting a cost to those chickens. But with you, when you buy at that stage, you are sure that there's no mortality, and you are able to go. Because the day-old chicks is trial and error. I tell you, we are the experts. Allow us to do the brooding. You buy it 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. You start the business without any challenges. Like I've even told you to say, when I started it 3 weeks. I didn't buy day-old chicks because I was still starting, and I needed to learn through the ropes. So it's important. And I tell you, Tinashe, I tell you, here in Zimbabwe, I'm the only black chicken producer for roadrunners. We have pictured the white community market. I tell you, I supply all the Borodale, Glen Lawns, Marondera farmers, all the white farmers, and they refer other farmers. Every day I've been given a number by this, and trust issues are important. I tell you, and that's the thing which we have managed as Nma Chickens, to say it's always good to give the right advice. And I tell you, me personally as Mr. Nhema, I'm not chasing for money. I am chasing on providing the best value to my clients. When you provide the best value to your clients, money will come. Right? Money will come. And I tell you, even if you inquire from me, I will not push you. I will give you the right advice. The right advice. Just yesterday, I quoted one client. I wanted 10,000 chicks. And they said, no, I want 10,000 chicks. I said, we want 10,000 chicks. What sort of resources do you have for these 10,000 chicks? Do you have the founders? Do you have the drinkers? Do you have the feeders? Do you have this kind of knowledge? So I said, no, Mr. Nhema, please assist me. Can you quote me all what is required? The quotation came to 15,000, including the feed for the first batch. And I said, no, Mr. Nhema, do you know what? I was not even prepared for this, but now you have told me the truth. Now I'm raising the adequate resources for me to say. Then I said, yes, I have to give you the right advice so that you don't fail. Because if I chase for the money, I saw you 10,000, but you go, all the 10,000 are gone. It's me who has ruined my reputation. I need to do the right thing. So sometimes my employee might fail to give the right information, but this is what I always emphasize every day to say, let's capacitate our farmers. Let's give them the right advice. If we have got resources which are needed, for example, when they buy chicks, ensure that they've got the vaccine. ensure that they need stress packs. If the farmer doesn't buy stress pack, but make sure that you told them of those requirements. It's up to the farmer, but next time when they complain to say, my chicks are dying, we said, no, did you buy this? Did you buy this? They will say, Mr. Nhema, you advised me, but I didn't do. Now the problem is with the farmer, not with the Nma Chickens. So we always want to ensure that we provide the best value to our producers, to our clients. It's not like we don't have challenges. Definitely, every business we have got other farmers who are not happy, but what we want is to ensure that 90% of our clients are happy with us.
Oh, exactly. I'm seeing Fari has got your hand up. She's a new speaker. He or she is a new speaker. You can come up, Fari.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Tinashe. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Nem. Yeah, I'm also from Midlands. Yeah, I've got some piece of land with my brother who's in Australia. So yeah, we are really thinking of investing big in the Midlands. So, Mr. Nem, if you can think also of Midlands. I think myself, my other brother in Australia, and it's Tinashe here. I think, yeah, we're going to provide with the Midlands. Yeah, so probably if you can also think outside Harare, because we are almost best. I understand it. Probably we are outside the 100-kilometer zone. So, but we will need also to supply probably the Midlands area as well.
Okay, not a problem. In terms of la supply, we can supply anyway in terms of if you want chicks. But for the contract farming, that's where we also have got that limit. But if you have got means to ensure that your eggs are reaching Harare without hassles, we can enter into in arrangement. So for Midlands, I tell you, is one of the biggest market for road runners because it's central in terms of the geographical location of Zimbabwe. You have got people coming from Shuriu, we have got people coming from Blawayo, you have got Gokwe. So you are central. And actually, when we were starting as Nma Chickens, that was the biggest market for us. And we are happy to meet you coming from Midlands, and we are ready to supply you. And I tell you, Nma Chickens is everywhere. We have sent all our chicks all the corners of the country. From Gokwe, Kariba, we have got our bloodline there. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Fari, for that. I'll be in touch with you. But as we are joining the Africa Diaspora Business Platform, I'm sure Mr. Nhema will be there. And myself, I'll be in Zimbabwe the end of March. And all fingers crossed, I'm going to meet with Mr. Nhema as I'm arriving in Zimbabwe. And we have to try and make sure that we strike balance. And to make sure that if we get the chicks from him, we know if he's going to make follow-ups of whatever that we would have put across, so that we don't have my shortfalls in whatever that we would have put across. I think that will work very well. Stoli, you've got your hand up. You can come up. Stoli, you've got your hand up.
Oh, sorry about that. Hi, how are you?
Fine, and you?
Yes, how are you?
Yeah, fine. Sorry, I'm Sitole. I'm farming in Glendale, and I started, with the local road runners. Then I don't want to lie to you, it was bad. Then last year I got, but I didn't get it from you, but I got from a good reputable supplier as well, the pure breeds, black astrolopes, from day old, and they are doing quite well. So I want even to get some more pedigree chickens as well, because I've seen, I just enjoy them, because like now, do you even have a light Sussex as well?
Yes, we have light Sussex. Actually, I'll share them with the group.
Yeah, I just love them. And also, I have some piece of land in Shurugwi where I want to really, from the ground, I want to build a good setup. So maybe if we can link up, then you can give me the technical advice and then help me with the layout. Then we can go from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and I'm
Okay.
glad that we have got a farmer who is doing well with the black antelope. And I tell you, black antelope is the real deal. That chicken is a very good layer. It's got quality meat, resistant to disease. It's just
Yeah.
outstanding.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I've realized that is why I just want to go with the pure breed road and then see where it goes from there.
Exactly. Go for the pure breed. No road runners. The mixed breed one. Those from chicken makaya from Musha. I tell you, you run a loss.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I've realized that. That's all. Okay.
Oh,
Thanks a
great.
lot for Mr. Now.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Sole. And also the meat from Black Australop. Oh, it's super nice. Do you know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
did? Do you know what I did the other time, Stole?
No.
We were doing these Black Australops with this other friend of mine, Dr. Moyo, in the Midlands.
Yeah.
So what I did is I was supplying these chicks when I was working in Mat North. Do you know
Okay.
what this lady did? She was having
Yeah.
she was having a kitchen in Mat North.
Yeah.
So the mistake that she did is she killed some cocks that she had for the
Oh, yeah.
kitchen. And when she killed the cocks, I think she killed 2 of them.
Yeah.
And when she killed the 2 of them, people then now started.
Can anyone hear Tinashe?
Yeah, no, I think we've lost him.
We might
Okay,
have
Tinashe, if you
lost
can hear us,
Tinashe.
we've lost you there.
Lost. Yeah, that's correct. The meat, yeah, what he was saying is correct. The meat is nice, but also the money is nice because I had when I started, I had access cocks and I was selling them for good profits. To be honest.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
Very good return on investment.
That's correct. Yeah.
Personally, I feel this business, I tell you, is just good, and you just have to ensure that you are on the ball. You just have to ensure that you run it as a business. If you
That's
support the
correct.
business, it will pay you back. And this is
Yeah.
actually what Nma Chickens is doing. We are supporting the business. We never run out of resources. I'm running this professionally. That's why you see
Yeah.
even the setup at my house. I have got an
Yeah.
office. I run this business professionally, and there's never
Okay.
been a time I would say that I don't provide the adequate resources. If employees says we need antibiotics, make
Yeah.
sure they are needed and they have to be
Yeah.
given.
Mm.
Sometimes I feel pity for others. You visit one farmer, huku dzakarumwa nemajeje kuzara maziso kudai.
Oh
Then
yeah.
you wonder what's really happening, and you expect that hen to lay eggs when it's being eaten and being sucked out of blood. Honestly
Yeah.
speaking, you just have to do the right thing.
That's
My
correct.
chickens, I don't even allow. I ensure that the bedding is clean, the water is clean. They have got all the environment which you want, because these are golden chickens which lay eggs for me, which lay money for
Mm.
me. So business has to be treated as a business.
Yeah, that's because one thing I've also noticed is lack of training for the people, especially who will be on the ground. Just sending them for regular trainings, as you were saying, it helps a lot. And because
Very true.
also one idea you were bringing up of the association, I think that's a great idea, because we are starting something on the pig industry side, because it's one area which has been overlooked, which has problems as well as the chicken. So we are starting something up, of which maybe in a few months it will be up and running as well.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's not underestimate the value of training. It's important
Yeah.
because if you just like imagine like what we have done in some form of training, we are exchanging notes here. There are
Yeah.
things which you have learned which you didn't know. There are also things which I am learning which I didn't know from you. So
Yeah.
exchange of these ideas, exchange of these interactions, it's important because it teaches you to avoid mistakes, to avoid challenges, to avoid problems.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's correct.
with an association, guys, so many problems will be easier to solve because divided we fall, united we stand. You know what I mean? As an association, financing price discovery or market discovery is always easy. Assigning someone to go to a different country, be it Turkey, to see if we can sell there and everything, as an association, to be easier to do. If you look at the progress that has been made with the other communities, be it the white guys, the Indian guys, it's the associations that have pushed and broken certain roadblocks and barriers. So we should just take a formula that already works. You know what I mean? It's easier for like you're saying, Guti. Um, the more we know, the faster we solve problems. We can't all be going back to start from zero to try and compete with Mr. Nhema. He's already answered questions and solved problems. So we just work together. We come from another angle, and you also be surprised that way more opportunities will come up with an association than would have come up if one person was chasing these things. I can see right now Midlands I did a setup with Midlands just from this meeting, and with our guidance, our support across the board, definitely things will work out.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tapio. And I want to tell you that all our chickens are certified by both the vet department. We've got a breeder certificate. We are also certified by SEDEC. Actually, Nma Chickens supplies SEDEC for their research in terms of the pathological center. They have generating vaccines using our chickens.
Amazing stuff. That's amazing. So let's take over the whole of Saturday. We should be the biggest producer. We should be the biggest supplier.
Very true.
Yeah, biggest supplier into that market. If we execute this right and just keep to the commitment, guys, I'm sure we can definitely go far. It doesn't matter what little you can bring to the association, but just come through. It might just be one line or one idea that can change the dynamics, or one phone call that you can make to support the business or the idea. Because the association is not just about producers, it's about the ideas. It might be one meeting where someone says, I have access to this person, I have access to this market, or let's try this way, or let's do this. Even if you're not a producer, come through. If you're a transporter, if you're a builder and everything else, everyone's contribution works in this particular thing. Because once we set the standards right with the right guidance, then we all go forward. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. Otherwise, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's getting late here. I'm now feeling sleepy. You know, as you see, it's almost mid.
No, thank you so much, Mr. Nhema, for your time and for your knowledge and for sharing. And I'm also happy a few things have come out of this. We've gained so much. I feel like I was attending a lecture at the university. So thank you for your time. And we've committed. We are people of our words. Frank has come through and also just ordered more. And a lot of things are going to be happening in the background. Anyone wants to talk about the consortium, guys, feel free to talk in the WhatsApp group. Let's make this happen. I'll definitely be on the ground in a week, Mr. Nhema. I'll make time for you. If you're free, we'll definitely sit down and execute. But we've already committed, and let's make this work, guys. Salute.
Thank you, Tapio and team. Actually, you are amazing, and keep this spirit. I tell you, with people like you, Zimu will never be the same.
Of course.
You know, we are the people. This is our
yes,
country.
Exactly.
Let's make it great.
If you're not part of the if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. So we choose to be part of the solution. So let's just move forward and work well together. When they say they must to show people that what they say isn't true about us as a people. When they say Zimbabweans, I know, but we would do things straightforward to show them that no, it's not correct. When they say we don't corruption, we do no, you don't need any corruption to do chickens, my guy. You don't need to pay anyone or any special things, but let's work and let's do this and let's prove them wrong. So that when they speak, we know that actions speak louder than words. And so let's take this forward. I'll definitely try and do a few videos when we get on the ground so that we share in the group, and I'll definitely be accessing the training material, and I'll also document and testify for people who are following us to show them from where we're starting from on the ground and the chicks coming in and everything else and see the growth. So thank you for your time, and we salute you.
Thank you so much, team. Bye-bye.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much.
Thank
See
you very
you.
much,
Thank
See you
Mr.
you.
Toti
Emma.
in the
Thank
group.
you.
Yeah, guys, I've added my number. If you can add me to the group and everything, then we can link up and network, please.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you,
Okay,
Mr. Nhema. Thanks for the
You're
meeting.
welcome.
It was
Thank you.
nice.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh.
Just inbox me.
Thank
I'll also
you.
send
Good
my
night.
details and also the videos of the chickens on the group.
Okay.